this meeting to order. And the first thing is roll call. And everyone is present. And the next item is a motion to approve the agenda, and we need, I would like to take, under consent agenda, B, C, F, K, L, and M out of consent agenda and make them 8B, 8C, 8F, 8K, 8L, 8M.
Wait, you're gonna have to do that.
Wait, go slower.
All right, 8B, 8C, 8F, 8K, 8L, 8M. And then we also need to add an N under consent agenda. That would be a motion for the Jimison's Lions Club to use the Jimison High School auditorium for a beauty pageant. And with those changes, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Can I ask something first?
Yes.
Are you taking them off completely, or we're gonna vote?
No,
on
we're gonna
separate?
vote on them just separately.
And are you
Because I had some questions, and I'm sorry, I apologize. I've had a lot, and I didn't have time to ask them before.
So are you gonna, when we vote on them, are they still gonna be 8B, 8C?
Yes, we'll do it after consent and just do 8B, 8C. Okay, can I have a motion?
So moved. Oh, you have one?
No.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, the next item is invocation and pledge of allegiance. And I asked Ms. English if she would do it today.
Let's pray first. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we just thank you for letting us gather here together tonight. Lord, we just ask that you would lead and guide us and direct us as we make our decisions tonight, Father. Go with us as we go forth and bring us back safely together again. In Jesus' name we pray. Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next item is our visitors. Mr. Ward Scott, I'll let y'all just have it over. Well, company, but Mr. Bobby, if you will take over.
George's gonna do it.
Okay.
We're here to talk about two different projects at Jimison. We've spoken a little bit about this previously, so there would be improvements at the softball field and at the football and baseball, a support facility for it, which would be shared between those two sports. So starting with softball, I know last time we talked about what to do there and what the best way to approach getting a good support facility for them with restrooms, a concession stand, and a press box. So the proposal would be to demolish the existing structure behind home plate and reconstruct a new all-brick restroom concession stand on the ground floor with a press box on the second floor. This would be in the exact location as the existing building. There would be enough room behind home plate to be able to get a walk space, to be able to set your chairs and that kind of thing. But admittedly, this is fairly tight right here, but it does fit in that location, and that seems like the best utilization of that space because it improves the press box, it replaces those existing older facilities, and all of the utilities would be in place there, and it's easily utilized by both the home and the visiting fans. As far as the drainage and everything that was mentioned in a previous discussion, we're staying kind of away from this area down on the west side of the site, so it is one of the higher points there, so hopefully we should be able to make all of that work out easily. We'll also get the building up out of the ground. So, any questions on softball? I'm going to leave these boards with you all as well if you want to study the matter.
And there currently are no restrooms at that facility.
All right. So this is the This is with some revisions, based on my discussions with, the superintendent, for the, football and baseball facility. It has been repositioned in this area to really, improve this entire corner between baseball and football. This would include a new entryway, replacing the old ticket booth that's here on the corner. It would reroute all of your patron access for football as well as baseball through some new gates right here, and then you would extend on into the football facility through this space. It would include paving this entire area and improving it so it would feel more like a plaza in an area that would be, would account for the amount of traffic that would be on this area. It also gives plenty of room for standing and queuing for the restrooms and the concession stands. As kind of a final phase of this project, we would remove the existing restroom facility on the north end and build these new batting cages for baseball. All of this would be held out until after football season, so there wouldn't ever be a season of football where you don't have restrooms and you're having to rely on porta potties or everything. So this building would stay up during the construction of this, and then when this is able to be taken offline, then we would do a site completion package. One other item that was mentioned is really improving the appearance of this campus as you approach. So if the funds are available, based on our bid quotes, we would be able to extend a decorative fence down that first base line of baseball toward the entrance to this wall, and really have a nice kind of visual as you head in of the athletic complex as opposed to just the other chain. So, similar to what we have at Thorsby, but with a little bit different flair, is the shared or the double entrances with the signage, ticket booth. You can see the patron facility behind, the wrought iron fence and the brick piers that would run down in front of baseball as well as up and around by football. So that is really our vision for this, and to kind of give a whole new face to the athletic complex there on the north side of Jackson. Comments on this? Questions?
The amount of the facilities is the same or more than what's currently there?
Are you talking about the quantity of restrooms? It's more.
Okay.
Yes. This is not full code, as there would be, which seems excessive, but it's a vast improvement over what's there.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I probably should have asked this prior to, but in working with y'all, how do y'all do y'all's payment? I know, do y'all wait for the state to pay y'all's funds like other places, or do we have to pay y'all up front?
So, if this is locally funded, we have our contract is structured such that we would be paid through design, based upon the percentage that the state stipulates that we would be paid for schematic design development and contract documents, and then during construction, we're paid the last 20% of our fee to administer construction throughout that. If this were to be utilizing PSCA funds, like from the bond issue and all that sort of thing, then our contract would be with you all and them as a co-owner, and all of that funding would be administered to us out of Montgomery. And so there would never be a time that you would pay us up front waiting on anything.
Okay.
Back end. Does that answer your question?
It does. Now another question. When we bid these and get the contracts, do y'all put a deadline date, and if they're not through with the deadline date, we recoup money?
There
in
are
the
liquidated
contracts?
damages in the contracts, yes ma'am.
Okay.
So $500 a day is our customary liquidated damages amount for construction.
That's all I got. Anybody else got anything? Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all, appreciate the time.
Okay, the next item is financial report. And, okay, and I'll just hand it over to Ms. Wright.
Okay, with the help of the contracted CSFO, we were able to complete the financials from November, 2023 to April of 2024, so we are up to date on financial statements. They all have been reconciled and submitted to the state, and they are on our website, for the public to view. Through the 7th month, which is April, of the fiscal year, 57.21% of the budgeted revenues and other financing sources have been received, and expenditures and other fund uses were at 58.95% of the budget. In the general fund, we ended the month with revenues over expenditures, and we have a 5.89 months reserve.
You said 5.8?
5.89.
9. All right. Can I get a motion to accept this?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you for getting this done. All in favor? All right, the next item is personnel. A, retirement and resignations, and there are 1 through 21. May I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
I do have a question about this. I noticed on resignations and retirements, number 20. Number 20 is also on non-renewals E, so is it double
The
or?
administrator asked that they be removed from the non-renewals. That just came in yesterday afternoon.
Okay, so we need to take them off when we get there to non-renewals, okay. Any other questions? All in favor? Okay. The next item is B, new hires. We have 1 through 7 on classified. Can I get a motion for classified?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Okay. The next is certified, and there are 29, 1 through 29, and can I get a motion to approve these in a bundle?
Make that motion.
Second.
All right, are there any questions? I have some questions. I know that there were some new graduates when we met. These new graduates that are being hired, they have passed all the tests and everything. I know one was in my box, so, okay.
We have documentation from all the universities that they have completed and certificate is applied for.
All right, so another one, we have an applicant on here that you said that we had 2 to apply that had a degree, but they were gonna take a praxis.
The 2 that applied that were degreed were hired in other positions in our system. That left
Okay.
them the only remaining one, and they were taking the praxis for certification in that subject area.
So
But
have
they
they
did.
already taken it, or
They have.
did they pass it?
We don't have the score yet, and they are certified in another area.
I know that that's elementary and they're going to high school, and that's my other question. Should this not be a transfer if they're already an employee of ours?
It's a different position.
Okay. So that would be the same way with the with number 29 too, because are they not already an employee of ours?
Not familiar with that one.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I don't know that person.
that's okay. And then number 25, the second year, this is an emergency hire that does not have a certificate.
He's made progress towards a degree.
Okay. All right.
Do we know when we will have their score back from the practice?
I do not know.
Okay, All right, do y'all want to vote on them all together? I'm going to abstain because I want to know the practice passed. So I cannot vote for the practice, but I don't mind abstaining if nobody else has a problem.
I would like to abstain from the praxis one as well.
The one that's taken the praxis, the reasoning is because they want to move to the high school.
That's correct.
Is there a position for that person if they don't go to the high school? Will they
I
remain?
don't believe so.
So we will have hired someone that couldn't.
So, well, if they've not resigned, they weren't on our resignation list, so they're already employed at another school of ours. And I know they're tenured. Yeah, so she's not resigned, so she has a job already. That's why I asked, should it not be a transfer?
Do it. At a different school. Can we not take that out, take that one out, so we can vote on all of them? Because if that's several that are going to the school.
They'll have to repost the job. That was the only remaining applicant. There were 3 applicants for the job. 2 were hired prior to the board meeting.
Transfer paperwork is in her packet. She did the transfer. All those that are transferring did the transfer paperwork. We have to do it. There's just not a transfer application anymore.
Is it my understanding this person is not qualified for the job?
They hold a teaching certificate in elementary and a different, they would be teaching out of field. Yes, that's what it's saying, current, until they complete the praxis.
Is the principal willing to put that person in teaching out of field if they?
That was the principal's recommendation.
Is there anything about the hire that's contingent upon passing the praxis?
No, sir.
Can we take that person out and vote on everybody else?
Is that what you want to do? Take that one out?
Well, I mean, we're abstaining, I've already got a motion and a second, but we can, what can we do? We have to vote on this?
Well, no, you can vote on everyone other than that particular person.
Okay.
A separate vote on that.
So we can take number 7 out. All right, that leaves me with one other question then. Because I checked as much as I can without getting everything, is there anybody else on this list that is teaching out of field?
Not to my knowledge. I believe I went over all 10 exceptions with you and Ms. Patterson on Wednesday. If there is some kind of oversight, I will.
Because you had, that was, yeah, we wrote those down. That was why I was asking
I
those
think
questions.
we went through all 10 of them.
We did. Okay. All right, so voting on 1 through 29, leaving out number 7. All in favor? Okay, that passes. All right, so do we have to, we just minus 7 and just leave it? Table it, okay. Do we have to vote to table it?
Unless you want to, I was going to.
Okay, so
If
can,
that's what y'all choose to do.
I would like to make a vote, motion to table number 7. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. All right, the next item on the agenda is leave request. And there are 1. May I have a motion?
So move.
A second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Okay, the next item are substitutes. There are 6 of them. Can I have a motion to approve the substitutes?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Okay, the next item is non-renewals. May I have a motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
And that is with taken, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 non-renewals. That would be with removing number 8 on it. All right, all in favor? Okay, the next item is F, leave. Motion to approve the following leave request.
What is that?
It's a motion to approve the following leave request, and the person was in your packet.
Okay, the one we talked about.
No, this is another one. This is just one single person. No motion.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
There's 2 of these.
We have 2.
There's 2 on there.
Oh, are there? One must have got added. Yes, okay. What's the other one? Is this one out here?
There's a C,
Okay,
I'm not.
yeah, okay.
But I think it's.
All right, so is the first one that's on there, I thought there was only one, but the first one that's on there, they're a full-time employee now?
This
Yeah,
is
these are different. But are they both full-time employees? Or is- Okay, so there's not one that's contract, they're full-time employees?
These are not, they're full-time.
Okay, that's the only question I had on this one. Anybody else got a question? Okay, all in favor? Okay, the next is G, maintenance summer workers. Motion to approve for maintenance to hire 4 summer employees, 32 hours a week at $12 per hour.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Clemens, do you know what these will be doing?
The assistant with service and air conditioning, washing filters, and all like they've done the last couple of years.
Washing what?
The filters, and they take all the filters
Oh.
from every air conditioning unit, wash it, and place it back in there. They will be with it. Maintenance workers, they won't be working independently.
Okay, and it's time for questions.
If you got any questions on this one, yes, ma'am.
Well, let's see. So what, again, as I usually ask, how was this to be advertised?
They'll post it at the maintenance shop and then at all of our schools on windows. Those positions are available for,
But schools will be out, right?
if it gets approved tonight,
When's the last day for school?
Thursday.
Thursday afternoon.
Thursday. And half the students are not at school, won't be at school. So I don't think that's enough publication or advertising to put them in the schools when school is getting out on Thursday.
I'm sure Miss Maddox could post it on Facebook. On our school Facebook.
Well, I mean, I'm voting no because I have a problem with, we can't up our sub pay for custodians and lunchroom workers, but we're paying these students more than our sub pay. I don't know, that's why I asked for a job description too, what they would be doing, but anyway, any more questions?
What is the sub pay?
Sub pays $10 for our custodians and our lunchroom workers, and I've asked over and over for it to be looked into, but nobody seems to look into it, so. All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the next is H, employee unpaid leave. Motion to approve an unpaid leave of absence for 3 employees that took unpaid leaves in March 2024. Can I have a motion? This is the one.
I only see two.
Well, it
Oh,
says
two on
3
that.
and there was 3.
Oh, there's two on that one. Okay.
And I'll second it, Brad. And the only question I got is, can we put something in place so that when they ask for unpaid leave, because these were in March, I mean, do they not have to request it prior to? Should we not? I mean, I know there's nothing.
We discussed that when the 4 of us met last week, and we'd be glad to look at what other people do. It's just very, by the time the unpaid leave has been taken, what are you gonna do? You gonna vote no and say you can't do it? It's already, but we'll be glad, Sheree and I will be glad to see what other people do.
Yes, because I was going to ask why it took so long to request it.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, the next is I, transportation summer workers. Motion to approve the following summer transportation workers.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Okay, the next is J, leave, 24-25 school year. Motion to approve leave for the following employee for the 24-25 school year only.
So moved.
Second.
I have a question. Is this a probationary teacher or tenured? Because I know on the request, they said that they started in August of 21. If that's the case, they're probationary. So can we give a non-tenured person a year leave? I mean, that will make them tenured. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why we do this. They're probationary.
According to Ms. Smith, we can.
According to Ms. Smith, we what?
We can.
Oh,
So will this will make this teacher tenured if this is approved?
No, ma'am. She'd have to be rehired. She'll have to have another, not rehired, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Have another year begin another year of service.
The time has to be consecutive.
So they would have to start back over and get 3 years.
And that Brad could give you a better answer than me.
Whatever's left on the tenure period, not from the beginning. I could ask Diane about it if y'all like some further direction. I'm not familiar with this particular employer, how much service they have, but generally it would just be start back over where they left off with the leave period.
It's kind of hit pause.
Paul's correct.
Have we ever given a probationary teacher leave?
Not in the last 16 months.
I mean, I don't remember it the whole time I've been on the board, but. Okay, anybody else got any questions?
The principal did not want to non-renew this person and lose them.
If they're working at two different schools, what
Yeah.
principal was it, at which school?
Any other questions? All in favor? Any opposed?
Oh, we didn't get that.
All right, so all in favor?
It's gotta be recorded.
All right, there's none for all in favor.
Nobody's in favor.
Any opposed?
I'll abstain. I don't know enough information about it.
Okay. That was 5 noes and Ms. Patterson abstained. I mean 6, yes. Okay, the next is K, summer learning camp employees. Motion to approve the following summer learning camp employees.
I'll make the motion to learning camp.
Second.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
I'm going to abstain from that one too.
Okay. All right, LISS positions, motion to approve the following requests. Permission to locally fund and post in 7 in-school suspensions teacher aide positions and federally fund 1 in-school suspension teacher aide. These aides would be placed at CMS, CCHS, VHS, IHS, MHS, THS, JMS, and JHS. Total local cost will be around $253,000 as part of the academic improvement plan. Letters of support are attached. May I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Anna? Any questions? Are these just one, or this is gonna be an additional person in there? Or it's just like we had it last year?
Just like you did, just
Last
like
year.
you approved last year.
Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the next is M, contract mental health coordinator, 24-25 grant. Motion to approve. And my paper ran out right there. To renew the contract for our part-time mental health coordinator for 19 hours a week, fully funded through the state mental health grant.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second.
Any questions? I have questions because I know last year after we voted and approved this, I got phone calls because we posted it as a full-time position. And then we hired a part-time. So,
That's not correct.
okay.
I'm not,
I mean, I'm
sure
just
you got,
telling you
you
what
got,
I got
you got
told,
calls
yes.
about that, but
So do we have to repost contract jobs then?
I'm not recommending a change. It's a continuation of
So we did post
the
it as a
same-
part-time
the
last
same
time.
person, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that as, I do not doubt that you got those.
Oh, I know. Well, I didn't take that personal.
I'll oppose.
Okay, you opposed?
No, you didn't ask if who was opposed.
Oh, who opposed? Miss Jackie?
No, I didn't. I just said you didn't ask.
Oh, no, because everybody voted for it. That's why I didn't ask. I'm sorry. It's been a long week, Miss Jackie. Okay,
Tell me about it.
and motion to approve the following request. Permission to post teachers' assistants for art at JES, MHS, IHS, and THS, VHS. A total of 3 positions that will be funded by Title IV. These will be part-time positions not to exceed 19 hours per week.
I will make that motion.
A second.
Okay, and I have questions. Can we not get more? I mean, how many classes are at each school that they're gonna be seeing? Or can we not hire them for longer?
These are all the Title IV funds that we have, and if they go more than 19 hours, they're not part-time employees, they become full-time employees, we have to pay benefits.
All right, how did it work out at JES this past year? How much time did they have in a class and how often do they see the students?
Don't know
All right, my other question is, where their purchase of their supplies gonna come from? Because that was a problem when we hired them the last time.
I don't have a problem with paying for their supplies locally, but I would take another motion. This is for the jobs and not their supplies.
All right. Anybody else got any questions? All right, all in favor? Okay. The next is O, LeCroy Career Tech Academic Supplement. Motion to approve the following academic supplement at LeCroy Career Tech. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Anybody got any questions? I do. I worked on this academic supplement plan, and this does not meet the qualifications to that plan to receive an academic supplement. So, I mean, does it come from, this is coming from the principal out there, or,
That's correct.
and you still want it up even though it doesn't meet the qualifications?
In what way does it fail to meet those qualifications?
On those qualifications, I believe, and I didn't pull it, they're supposed to have up to 3 to 5 days staying after school hours, and they're supposed to go to at least 3 competitions. And from what I read,
We have
this
that in
was not
writing?
it. Yes, sir. There's a whole
100%.
list of rules and regulations, and I mean, I didn't have time, but I will pull them. I was on this committee that worked on this academic supplement. And I fuss all the time because people can't get it because they don't meet the qualifications, the criteria.
Can we table this until we look at that and bring it back up next month?
I'll make the motions and y'all discuss if you want to table it. That's up to you.
I mean,
I mean, if it doesn't meet the qualifications, I don't wanna vote for it
Until we can pull the qualifications.
until we
know
can
for
pull
sure.
it, and then if it
Okay.
does, we'll put it back on next month.
all right, so we're amending the motion to table it. Can I have a motion for the amendment? Do we have to get another motion and a second for the amendment? And a second.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, the next is P, pre-K auxiliary teacher job description. Motion to approve the pre-K auxiliary teacher job description. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
A second.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, the next is consent agenda. We're voting on A, the minutes, D, THS facility rental, E, JHS volunteers, G, CCHS Chilton County Sheriff's Department Junior Deputy Academy, H, IHS out-of-state travel, I, THS facility rental form, J, CMP floor machine, and N, Jemison Lions Club to use the auditorium. Can I get a motion for consent agenda?
Is L not in that?
No, we took M out.
L.
No, we took it out too.
Make a motion.
A second.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, the next item will be 8B. Disposition forms. Can I have a motion to approve the disposition forms?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Mr. Clemens, what is our procedure on disposing of things?
There's a disposition form that finance has, that Mandy has. And the principal goes through it and details everything that's gonna be disposed of and signs off on it and then submits it back to Mandy. So we take it off our fixed asset.
Okay, when we have, it states how we're gonna get disposed of it and everything, or? Here's what I'm asking, and I just learned this afternoon. You know, I'm always asking, why don't we do something with the stuff that we get rid of? All the iPads and the Chromebooks that are AUE, we can't get them updated. If we could send a copy of our procedures of disposal form to the State Department of Education, and I've got their 2 names. I called to see if we could, since they work, and could we not do some kind of paperwork or something to give them to our underprivileged kids that are in need of these things? And they called me back today and said, yes, if we would get our federal programs, because I knew they were bought with federal money, if we would get the federal program director to give them a buzz and send them the copy to help us out, that there is a form that we can do that with. Could we not look into it?
Sure.
Instead of just throwing them away?
If we had a federal programs director.
Well, if you'll get me the copies of the procedures and disposals, I'll be glad to get it to them.
We'll take care of it.
Okay, do we need to, we don't need to vote for him to do that, or?
You can give him some direction, and I'll also talk to Diane, and we'll just give you all some further direction about how you can accomplish the goal.
So, to amend this for Mr. Clemens to approve to look into getting that to needed children in our community? Can I have a motion for the amendment?
I'll make a motion.
And second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, the next is CCHS classroom motion to approve the purchase of the attached equipment and supplies for the FAC's department at CCHS. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And-
Second.
And the only question I have about this, is this gonna be like Jemison's? Will we be able, I know no other students have been able to go to Jemison's, but will this be a culinary that they can go to at Chilton County High? It said they're turning it into a culinary?
For other students, from nobody, Ms. Pitts has not approached me about having other students come to CCHS.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor? Okay, the next is F, CMP permission to purchase tables for the lunchrooms. CMP would like to purchase new tables for CCHS with CMP funds, total of $105,256.44. CMP would like to purchase tables from JMS for a total of $102,903.11. And CMP would like to purchase tables at JHS for a total of $106,909.30. All of this coming from CMP funds. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, for the tables that are being purchased, is it because the others are worn out, or do they just want new tables?
Both.
Oh,
They're all, Ms. Hayes has a plan to replace all of them in the whole county.
okay, and then this is just my own personal, I guess, not pet peeve, but concern. This is a lot of money, I know it's coming from CP funds. But couldn't, none of that money can be used to give CMP people a raise or a bonus? If they got, I see this much money floating around, and we've been talking about raises and bonuses for CMP and custodians.
I told Ms. Price when we met that we have a CMP director, and the CMP director has not brought me anything requesting
I remember you saying that
a
now.
raise
I remember you saying that
for
now.
substitutes or anything like that. This is day to day her plan for improving the look of the facilities.
Okay.
And I can't speak for her or on that. I can't.
All right, well, the questions I had, I would like to have a picture of the Jemison Middle and High School tables sent to us. And my other question is, are we purchasing tables for CIS? Because in my packet, we have a whole pictures, the price for CIS and everything, but it's not in the motion.
If it's not in the motion, we're not requesting it. We requested artwork for the JMS and the JHS tables, and they just didn't get it to us in time, but the artwork will be similar on all
Well,
of
there's
those.
prices for CIS, CCHS.
She's working on getting them all.
Jemison-
Sent the wrong one.
No, there's all four of them in there. There's all Jemison Middle, Jemison High, CIS, and CCHS. They're in my packet, but they're not in my motion, so I want to make sure we get it clear, because if we pull this packet, my packet has tables and a price for CIS, but my motion does not.
So my motion, Ms. Price, will be for, since as written, CCHS, JMS, and JHS. If she failed to
Okay.
include CIS, then they'll have to do that at a later date.
Okay.
But she doesn't, like I told Miss Jackie, she does have a plan she's already done Maplesville and Isabella, and she has a plan to do all of them. Just don't know if we'll get to all of them this academic year.
Okay. All right, so we're voting just on CCHS, JMS, and JHS.
Correct.
All in favor? Okay. The next item is K, CCHS flooring quotes. Motion to approve the following quote for new flooring.
Make the motion.
Second.
And my question here is, should we check with someone else, since the price that he's got in here is with someone that has not been able to get the flooring at THS yet? I mean, we already got a bid that was accepted and everything, and they've not been able to do the floor, so we're gonna fall into the same spot here.
They typically do that work during the summer. Yeah.
That's correct. And
If what, Brad?
I asked if they typically did that work during the summer when the students were gone.
the issue with THS was that they couldn't get the material in time for spring break, and
So they held on.
they needed 3 days to complete that.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, the next is CCHS greenhouse quote. Motion to approve the following quote.
Make a motion.
Second.
And my question here, has the state approved this?
The construction of it,
In your defense, and in Mr. Smith's defense, they were not around, but when the greenhouse was put at Thorsby, and they came out and looked at the pavilion we got written up for the greenhouse there, and also the greenhouse we had purchased at Chilton County High, because even though these are package deals that we purchase, they have to be pre-approved, just like any construction job.
how about
We tabled this
if
one?
we table this until I can get that information for you?
Okay, can I have the same motion from you, Ms. Callaway, and Mr. Smith, for the tabling? All in favor to table? Okay, and the next item is M, permission to seek bids for plumbing services. May I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Is it a contract available to us to look at, to see what we're bidding out, Mr. Clemens?
Sure.
Okay. Because you can, so you'll send it to us before it's, okay. Any other questions? All in favor? Okay. The next item on the agenda is old and new business. Has anybody got any old and new business?
I have a question. I know that several school districts within our state have had a lot of issues here recently with inappropriate material being contained in online libraries within the school system. And I did not know if anyone has checked within our online library for the students to see if those books were contained in our libraries. I do not know if anyone has come across that issue or have heard any concerns from parents.
I haven't had any complaints. No, we have a policy that the board established for written word books, for physical copies that, you know, are brought to our attention, and then we go through. It ends up being brought to the board for a vote for the board to make that determination. But as far as online content, I haven't. At our June principal meeting, I'll be glad to ask, but I'm not telling you there's no inappropriate content. I'm
Right.
telling you I haven't gotten a complaint about that yet.
Okay, thank you.
Only out with the libraries, years ago, I know we voted and we've got a program that we can see at the county library and all too. Are we able to access that? That was when.
You as a board member or?
Yeah, I know that, can the teachers not see what books are at the other libraries?
Well, there's all kind of apps for checking out Libby and all kind
No,
of
a
digital.
program was bought by the legislator. Kurt Wallace gave that money and bought the program to have access. So does anybody have it? I mean, it's a program that we use in our libraries at the school and at the Clanton Library, and I assume the Jemison Library. That was why he purchased the whole program.
It's been probably 8 or 10 years ago, though. It's
Yeah.
probably, I mean, I don't know, but I would
Probably
assume, which I shouldn't, it's probably outdated and obsolete. Yes.
I cannot answer that question. I do not. That was, if it was 8 years ago,
before your time.
before I was even a principal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question, about the Chromebooks. At one time, were the students not able to check out Chromebooks to take home
Yes, ma'am.
if so needed?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
has that been stopped?
It was always at the discretion of the administrator as to whether or not they were willing to let the student take a $400 device and take it home. Some administrators didn't have a problem with it at all. Some, you know, obviously if you were at an elementary school, you might not want to let your first grader take their Chromebook home, but some of the high schools did. It was left, when I was an administrator, it was left up to the administrators to decide that. And we just kind of, at my school, we had a policy, no, you didn't take it home unless there was an issue where you needed to take it home, where, you know, kid was going home sick, or of course then when we had COVID, you knew somebody was going to be gone for 2 weeks, and that kind of changed everything. I don't think we have a formal written policies like, as far as like, yes, everybody gets to take theirs home, or nobody gets to take theirs home.
So parents can even check out ones for elementary students if they so need to?
I
know you
think
said
that most administrators would work with a parent that said, hey, can address that too, if that's
Yes,
if that's a problem.
parents have been told that they
There's-
cannot
There's some,
take them home.
I can speak to that.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Have you looked into the teacher that we discussed that was hired to teach Project Lead the Way? And then we added an extra class, math class, for her to teach that she was not hired to teach. And she did that for 5 weeks. About a supplement like we give other supplements. I mean, she was already hired for one teaching position. And we had her do double duty teaching a math class that she was not hired to, all the math classes.
The issue, as we've discussed this twice already, and the issue that we have is that we don't give supplements for work that's done during regular school hours. You know, we had that issue with bus drivers that were employees driving midday routes and things like that, and we had to stop doing that.
Well, and that's the same difference, and everybody else might not feel the same way, but as a coach that's hired, we gave them a supplement for going, extra supplements for going to the playoffs and for practice, and I assume when we hire a coach, we want them to win, we don't want them to lose, so that would fall under their job description and their hours.
They
So,
practice and they play outside of school hours.
okay, all right. Do we have a process that we use for raises on our employees that are not certified employees?
It's evaluated by each department. We went through that. We had a state mandated raise, hourly raise. Just recently, we had to work through all of that, but there's no
How,
assessment, or we don't bring in criterion or anyone like that to do salary analysis for us.
what does our evaluations consist of, our evaluation process?
For raises, our raises are given across the board, unless we go position by position. You have to be more specific.
All right, so do we typically hire new employees making more than senior employees?
What position are you talking
Well,
Do we hire
anything that would be
new employees?
classified.
about? We have over 400 classified employees.
Well, in our CMP and our custodians and our maintenance and transportation, do we typically hire new employees making more than senior employees?
It would depend on the position and the years of experience.
Okay. So, do we have a process for increasing the sub pay for classified employees?
Substitute pay? Not that I'm aware of. It comes from the department heads.
Okay, then,
They operate within their own budgets.
can I ask that department heads start coming to our meetings to answer questions?
I think there's a reason that a lot of our department heads don't come to the meetings.
Well, I mean, when you can't seem to answer it, Mr. Clemens, and it falls back to the department head,
I'm trying to stay very professional,
I am too.
but the things you're asking about are about day-to-day operations. And we have department heads that oversee those things.
Okay. That's all I've got tonight. Anybody else got anything? All right, the other thing is superintendent's report, CCHS.
and this is for Ms. Wright.
Okay. Well, she's not taking questions tonight.
Oh, she's not.
She will.
Included in consent.
When we have these different departments, requesting things and they say it's coming from their budget, they've already checked with you to make sure that that money is there, correct?
Okay. Superintendent's report, CCHS FFA Summer Workers Grant. Did y'all all see that? Can I get a motion to approve it?
Make the motion for FFA.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Wait, can I ask, are we going to a separate session for the other?
Yes, we're going to the public meeting and we're gonna add,
Okay,
No.
okay, I'll vote.
I don't. Yes.
all right. All right, we went over our time, so we'll go.